This is The Space Shot, episode 50, for July 3rd, 2017. Lego rockets, comets, a birthday, and the Soviet N-1 rocket. Hey everyone, welcome to The Space Shot, your daily space history, pop culture, and news fix. I'm John Molnix. Before I jump into some history, I have a quick news update. Also, stay tuned to the end of the podcast for details about the LEGO Saturn V giveaway. SpaceX experienced another automated hold at T-minus 9 seconds today. Initially, John Insprucker with SpaceX stated that the issue from yesterday's attempt was solved, so today's scrub could be for an entirely new reason. Hopefully it's a quick fix, since the launch attempt tomorrow would be on the 4th of July. Now for some space history. On this day in 1969, the Soviet Union attempted to launch the massive N-1 rocket, the Soviets' competitor to the Saturn V. The launch on July 3, 1969 ended in failure, with the entire vehicle being lost in a massive explosion shortly after liftoff. The N-1 had the misfortune of not being able to fly with all of its engines and parts fully tested before the flight. Usually a rocket will undergo a static firing to test the engines, but the Soviets didn't do this with the N-1. On July 5th and 6th, I'll have some more information on the N-1 rocket and the failed Soviet moon program, so be sure to check back on those days. On this day in 2005, the Deep Impact mission to Comet Tempel 1 successfully impacted on the comet's surface. In the late evening hours of July 3rd or the early morning hours of July 4th, depending on your time zone, the impactor from the Deep Impact spacecraft successfully impacted on the surface of Comet Tempel 1. The impactor was able to take video up until the moment of impact on the comet's surface. In the show notes, I'll link to the video of the impact. It's a pretty spectacular display of celestial fireworks. Deep Impact was launched from Cape Canaveral Air Force Station on a Delta II rocket on January 12, 2005. And no, this isn't the Deep Impact movie, thankfully. After its initial impactor mission, the spacecraft went on to operate for another 8.5 years, studying other comets in our solar system. The impactor was used to determine what materials made up the comet. Understanding the composition of comets will provide clues to the origin of not only the comet, but it also provides a look at the environment of the solar system as it was forming. This helps scientists develop more accurate models of planetary formation. Now for a happy birthday. Astronaut Harrison Jack, as he's called, Schmitt, was born on July 3, 1935, and is celebrating his 82nd birthday today. Schmitt was the first scientist astronaut to fly and was involved in 3 EVAs on the lunar surface as part of Apollo 17. He was originally scheduled to fly on Apollo 18, but with the cancellation of that mission, he was bumped to the prime crew of Apollo 17, which allowed a geologist to study the moon. Check out my Instagram feed for an awesome picture of Schmitt using a scoop to retrieve a lunar soil sample during one of his EVAs. The picture is in color, but you can only tell that by looking at the reference indicator that's on a rock in the foreground of the picture. Schmitt is the second to last person to walk on the moon, with Gene Cernan, who passed away earlier this year, being the last. As always, I'll have more on Apollo 17 when I cover that mission. Before I go, I've also got some details for the giveaway. First off, I want to say thank you to all of the listeners of The Space Shot. To all of the listeners in the United States, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Bermuda, Italy, Turkey, Ukraine, Japan, Hong Kong, just to name some of them, thank you. We've embarked on this year-long journey together, and we're already 50 days into it. Those of you that are listening now are some of the first to join in, and I'm incredibly grateful that all of you take the time to listen each day. I promise to keep bringing you interesting, educational, and mildly comedic content every day, so here's to the next 50 episodes and to the next 100 after that. Thank you. Now for the giveaway details. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and watch for my posts each day. From now until July 20th, the anniversary of Apollo 11 astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walking on the moon, I'll be sharing a LEGO Saturn V related post. Like and comment on those posts and any of the other posts for the Space Shot and share them with your friends. Each time you do that counts as a chance to win the LEGO Saturn V set that I have available. The more times you like, comment, or share, the more chances you've got to win. Make sure to tell your friends about this contest as well. I will randomly choose a winner on July 20th, so make sure you follow me and keep an eye out for those posts. Once a winner is chosen, they will be notified so I can get shipping information and send off that LEGO Saturn V set. Tomorrow, we celebrate the 4th of July with the Mars Pathfinder rover and hopefully a SpaceX launch. Thank you all for listening to the show. Producing a daily podcast takes a lot of time, and I would love if you could take just a moment to leave a review or rating in the Apple Podcasts app and let me know what you think. If you're so inclined, you can ask me questions and chat on Instagram and Twitter. Find me at John Molnix pretty much everywhere. Subscribe to the podcast and share it with anyone you know that loves history, space, or pop culture. I'm John Molnix, and I'll catch you on the flip side.